Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Aviators South Africa podcast, Aviation Sunday, episode 10. My name is Kabir and I'm the host on the show with Warwick. Today on the show we'll be joined by our fellow aviation enthusiasts, Devarshan and Thomas.
Today on the show we'll be talking about the new futuristic Zephyr Seat, British Airways' Boeing 787-10's delivery, and some updates on the Boeing 747 production. Enjoy the podcast.
This episode is in association with African Pilot magazine. Subscribe to Africa's finest aviation magazine today. For more information, go to www.africanpilot.co.za. Producing this content takes a lot of time and effort. Therefore, why don't you become a member of our channel through Buy Me a Coffee or on our website? This will assist us financially and allow us to continue providing quality aviation content to South Africa and beyond. As a member of our channel, you will receive members-only aviation tech content reviews, get early YouTube videos and podcasts, and even get featured on our podcast and YouTube episodes. To do this, click on the links in the description. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link and there's a link in our website. If you click on the link to our website, you will get a 10-day free trial and then you can decide whether you'd like to continue. Alternatively, just buy us a coffee on the link below. $5 a coffee. Thank you for supporting us. Enjoy the episode.
So now we're going to be talking about the Zephyr Seat. The Zephyr Seat is a lie-flat economy class seat. The really cool thing about this seat is that it can be double stacked in a single-decker aircraft.
So you may be thinking that this is probably very uneconomical for the airlines because the seats take up more space.
This is not the case though, because you can only fit 4 seats across in a wide-body aircraft. You can, however, do double stacking, so that means that there will be 8 across altogether.
The seats are placed diagonally in the aircraft to utilize as much space as possible. They use the space by placing the one person's seat backrest on the outside of the person's behind leg rest and then putting a ladder to the seat above in the little crook between the seats. This is also a very good seat taking into consideration the current situation regarding COVID-19.
The seats are perfect for the current situation at hand because they are socially distant and can stop the spread of droplets which can potentially hold viruses. There are some major advantages to the seat. These seats could be amazing and attract many more passengers back to the skies despite COVID-19. We are now going to be having a discussion regarding the Zephyr Seat. What do you think, Warwick?
I definitely think that it's a massive pro to the aviation industry, and it's definitely going to benefit the airlines which utilize it. However, you could also look on the other side that it may not benefit them because it will take up a bit more space. Not much, as we said, because you can do double stacking, but it will still take up a bit more space. And then there's also the point that you've also got to think about it in that it could provide a lot of noise if somebody is sitting above you and they move a little bit. I'm not exactly sure if they've got sound deadening. And Tom, what do you want to say?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, these chairs aren't going to be cheap. I mean, they're probably going to be quite expensive to install. And I mean, does that change the price of the seat or the like the ticket to get on the airline? And then that could, mess up everything. But at the same time, you don't know. So Kabir?
So Tom, on the pricing, that is a great question. Will it change the price of tickets? It may, because will business and first class lie-flat seats get outdated? There won't be as much demand for them. because maybe for some people they want the exclusivity, the boarding, the baggage fees, the food, whatever that is, then it's fine for them. But most people only book business class so that they can have that lie flat seat. So it would possibly change that. But I have a personal question, and I don't think any of you can answer it. But assuming we have a double-decker seat here, so there's normally the overhead stowage. Where will the overhead stowage go? Because that is a safety risk. Because if you have bags ahead of you and now you're sleeping, and if something shifts or something falls, or so it really just depends. But Warwick, what do you think?
In terms of the baggage and storage, I suspect that there will be a compartment or a system underneath the seat where you can possibly or potentially store your onboard luggage. And then regarding the pricing, there is also the fact that it probably won't cost nearly as much as a business class, say, or a first class seat. I'm saying this because a business class or a first class seat have the extra, well, it's not double decker stacking, and it's more designed on luxury instead of space saving luxury. So I think it will be more expensive. It will probably be like round about the equivalent of a pretty premium economy class seat. So yeah.
I think we have got lots of very interesting point of views, and personally I would love to try out one of these seats. In terms of COVID-19, it's definitely a way for social distancing, because there's a big debate around the aviation industry. Do you social distance or do you not social distance on planes? And there are many sides of the conversation for that one, but we'll cover that another day. So thank you. This has been a very interesting chat. We'll have to wait and see about the Zephyr Seat. 2 weeks ago, British Airways received its first Boeing 787-10. There was much anticipation building up to the delivery, but was it worth it? We are about to find out. British Airways received these beautiful aircraft on the 28th and 29th of June. These aircraft come as a major milestone for the airline's fleet renewal strategy.
After retiring their Boeing 767 fleet a few years ago as one of the phasing outs of the airline's Boeing 747 fleet, the Boeing 787-10 and the Boeing 777X aircraft are going to be replacing these older aircraft. There are many new and exciting features on the 787-10 and 777X.
The aircraft faced major delays with more than half a year's worth of setbacks. It is quite a relief to see these aircraft being delivered. The new 787-10s will feature the airline's new club-build design, originally debuted on the Airbus A350. It is overall an amazing aircraft with lots of potential.
The Boeing 787-10 is an exclusive aircraft. British Airways recently joined the club with ANA and United Airlines as the only operators of this aircraft.
So we are now going to be having a discussion about the 787-10. So this is, like Devashan just said, it's an extremely exclusive aircraft. And there are only a handful of airlines who operate it. And obviously we know the 777X is coming up. And so that is a great aircraft, and that is also going to be in BA's fleet. But the 787-10, it's a miracle that it actually happened. There were numerous delays and many issues, and it was meant to arrive early January. We are now sitting in July, and the demand is not necessarily at its highest. But Warwick, what do you think?
I've got to admit I'm super excited for the 787 to soon fly into South Africa. And I've always been having discussions and thinking about how the 787 is such a sleek and beautiful aircraft. However, it does look a bit out of proportion. So the 787-10 should look very in proportion and should look like a much better sized aircraft. And because of all its beautiful lines and how they've designed it, it should look very, very nice. Kabir, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I think it's a wonderful aircraft. You are totally right about the out of proportion. But I think, airlines, the problem is it's got a lot of competitors. the Dash 10 and the 777X. I know we've been talking about it a lot on the channel, but it's really new and it's about to come, and we are really excited. And the thing is, you airlines have the A350. Now, why would you pick an A350 over a 787-10, right? And that is what it is for airlines today. They have several different options, and it's about why they pick it. And so Boeing have to now start to stand out.
Sun Express 866, contact approach 19050.
That's Boeing 5172, we are descending flight level 70 on course to Sierra Papa Lima.
Ocean 37 Yankee, descend flight level 100, after RT proceed to Sierra Papa Yankee.
Exactly one season ago, we paid tribute to the Queen of the Skies, the Boeing 747. Today we will be covering the latest news regarding this amazing plane.
So Boeing has laid down an end date for the 747's production. They have set this for about 2 years in 2022. However, they have not confirmed this as of yet.
This is a big move from Boeing because they've got such a name for their game-changing aircraft. The 747 has now been in production for 52 years, and over 1,555 of these aircraft have been built and delivered. The 747 was so good because they could be used for cargo, passengers, and even military.
Also, on the topic of 747s, Qantas have now planned 3 Boeing 747 farewell flights in mid-July. They are calling these flights the Jumbo Joy flights. This would have been Qantas's 49th year of operating the 747s because they came into operation for them in about 1971.
Many aviation enthusiasts around the world are wondering where they can still fly on a Boeing 747 before all passenger airlines have retired them. This is a hard question because if passenger airlines have not retired them, then they have grounded them for the time being.
Well, Lufthansa is a good bet if you're looking to fly on these beauties because they have the 747-8 still in operation. However, Air China and Korean Air both also have the 747-8. These are not in operation at the moment though. If you are looking to fly on these aircraft, then it makes the most sense to fly on a Lufthansa 747.
Alternatively, from South Africa, you could fly with British Airways on their Boeing 747-400s. However, they could soon be retired. So we are now going to be having a discussion about the Boeing 747. It is such an amazing aircraft, the queen of the skies, as we like to call it. And I'm really not sure what we're going to do when the production is over. There are still airlines operating it, but it's really difficult to gauge where we will be able to fly. So from South Africa, we used to have a lot of 747 flights. We used to have Lufthansa, British Airways, Air France, I think. But these were KLM, we still have, but a lot of these have been retired. And the risk is that definitely with BA, we will be getting A350s, 777s, etc., which, of course, from an AvGeek perspective for us is awesome. However, it is not awesome because the 747 is just an amazing aircraft. But at the same time as that, they are getting an outdated feel. Warwick, what do you think about the Queen of the Skies?
I definitely also think I agree with that you think that it's getting an outdated feel, especially on some of the older models like the 747-400s, because they've been in operation for so long, and the airlines which have been operating them haven't really bothered to not maintain, but they haven't bothered to redo all the interior and repaint the aircraft to make them look like and feel like new again. Devarsha, do you have anything to say?
Well, firstly, from my side, I am very sad to see the 747 go. Because the 747 used to be the queen of the skies. And now, sadly, they're going to stop production of the 747. So, yeah.
The other thing is it's just so sad to see the production stop. Now, although it's not as though Boeing are producing 747-400s, they're producing 747-8s and cargo variants and it's still sad because it shows the end of an era. it shows the end of the golden age. It shows the end of Boeing's golden age, because this is when Boeing was excelling. And now we're looking at the MAX troubles and the 777X. And although the 777X is coming, it's not Boeing's flagship aircraft. It's not the 747. Warwick, what do you think?
Also, on the 777X, the problem with it is that firstly, it's not their flagship aircraft, but also the main thing is that the A350 got out first. So customers which were feeling like they needed one of these aircraft, they thought, okay, I'll get the 777X or the A350, whichever comes out first and has the best, or is best suited to the airline. And the thing is, they're very similar. But however, the A350-1000 came out first. It's bigger. It's not bigger, but it's the biggest twin-engine airline at the moment, and at least from Airbus. And it's just the 777 is older.
Unfortunately, this week, there's no weekly Aviation Shoutout winner. So please remember to go to our Google form and fill it out, which is in the description below, so that you or someone else can get nominated and win the weekly Aviation Shoutout for next week.
This is an extension of the Aviators South Africa podcast. Find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and more. Look in the description for the links. Also, please like and subscribe. Happy flying!
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Aviators South Africa. We'll see you next time on next week's Sunday, 3 p.m. South African time. Please stay safe, stay home. Together we can beat the coronavirus. # Stay Home South Africa. To find out more about the coronavirus, visit sacoronavirus.co.za for more information. There's also a WhatsApp support number at 0600 123 456. That is 0600 123 456. Stay safe, South Africa.